Lily has been baking wild yeast bread for a few years now, and she has the proof that she wasn't just a lockdown bandwagoner in the form of the title for the best home-baked sourdough at the World Bread Awards in 2017. Meanwhile, a nearby house must have lost a tile from its roof, as this loose piece of slate has been floating around on our street for months. Walking past it again recently, Lily observed that it's like a miniature version of her World Bread Award, so we brought it indoors. I think she was planning on having me turn the slate into an equivalent for some of her other baking commendations, but I figured I could do better than that. I set about making her a new award to make up for the lack of competitive baking during lockdown. After cleaning the slate up, the first thing to do was to drill some holes in it. I had no idea how this was going to go. I was pleasantly surprised that I didn't crack the slate in the process. In my haste though, I did a really bad job of drilling the holes evenly, so I had to do a little work evening them out. Next was nibbling off some of the edges to make it a little more rectangular, then rounding off the corners. The pliers I got for glass cutting worked excellently for this. With it shaped up, I popped the slate into the scanner as a quick way of getting a measure for its scale. I've never been all that impressed with the typography on the actual award, but it made creating my own version really fast. I figured I had to narrow the field of competition if she was going to win this award, so I decided she could be county champion this year. With the design figured out, the next piece of the puzzle was, of course, the singing plotter cutter. I had to simplify my design a little bit, but once I'd made the text bigger, the Cameo made a good stencil. With the stencil weeded, I transferred it to the slate, ready for painting. I recently acquired an air compressor, so this seemed like a good job to try out painting with an airbrush. I've never done it before, so I heeded the advice on the paint bottle and got set up in a well-ventilated area, respirator and all. I think it was a bit overkill because using the airbrush was so gentle, but it still got really good results. Once I tidied up and brought everything inside, I got to do the most rewarding part of this mini project, peeling the stencil back. I guess the edges of the text could have somehow been a little crisper, but I'm happy enough with the results. We were both surprised by how much it looks just like the big award. There was just one more detail to add. The rope. With that attached, it was ready to hang up next to the big award. And that makes another mini project finished. Thanks for watching.